the voicemail he never listened to. The rain had been falling all night in the quiet town of Maplewood. Streetlights reflected off the wet road like broken pieces of gold. Most houses were dark, their windows glowing faintly from televisions left on overnight. Inside a small apartment on the third floor, Daniel Carter slept deeply on his couch. His phone vibrated on the table beside him. Once, twice, 3 times. Daniel groaned and turned his face into the pillow. He had just returned from a long shift at the hospital. Being a nurse meant long nights, little sleep, and constant stress. The phone kept vibrating. Finally, the screen lit up with a notification. One new voicemail. From Mom. Daniel didn't notice. The next morning, sunlight forced its way through the curtains. Daniel woke up with a stiff neck and a headache. He grabbed his phone lazily. 3 missed calls, 1 voicemail. All from Mom. He frowned. "That's strange," he murmured. His mother rarely called this late at night. He almost pressed play on the voicemail, but then another notification popped up, a message from his boss reminding him about an early shift. Daniel sighed. "I'll listen to it later." He shoved the phone into his pocket and rushed out the door. The hospital was chaos. Patients everywhere, doctors shouting orders, machines beeping non-stop. Hours passed like minutes. Daniel completely forgot about the voicemail. Until lunchtime. He sat alone in the cafeteria, stirring his coffee absent-mindedly. Suddenly, he remembered. The voicemail. He pulled out his phone, but before he could press play, his coworker Jake ran in. "Daniel, room 214 needs help, now." Daniel quickly locked his phone again. "Coming." The voicemail would have to wait. That evening, Daniel finally returned home. The apartment felt unusually quiet. He kicked off his shoes and collapsed onto the couch. For the first time all day, he had a moment to breathe. He pulled out his phone again. The voicemail notifications still sat there. 1 new voicemail. Mom. Daniel smiled softly. His mother always left long, emotional messages. He imagined her voice already. "Danny, you never call your poor mother." He chuckled. But before pressing play, his phone rang. Unknown number. Daniel hesitated before answering. "Hello?" A calm but serious voice spoke. "Is this Daniel Carter?" "Yes." "This is Officer Reynolds from Maplewood Police Department." Daniel sat up. "Police?" "Yes, is something wrong?" There was a pause. A longer one this time. "I'm sorry to inform you that your mother was involved in an accident last night." Daniel's stomach tightened. "Accident?" "Her car went off the road during the storm." The room suddenly felt colder. "Is she okay?" Another pause. Longer this time. "No, sir. I'm very sorry." Daniel's heart seemed to stop. "She passed away at the scene." The phone slipped from Daniel's hand. The world went silent. Rain started falling again outside, tapping softly against the window. Daniel stared at the floor. His mind refused to accept the words. She passed away? Just yesterday she was fine. Just yesterday she called him. He slowly picked up the phone again. His hands trembled. The voicemail. The message she left before the accident. Daniel pressed play. For a moment there was only static. Then his mother's voice appeared. Soft, familiar, warm. "Hi, Danny. It's Mom." Daniel felt tears immediately fill his eyes. "I know it's late, but I just wanted to hear your voice." A small laugh came through the recording. "You're probably asleep like always." Daniel wiped his face. "Anyway, I was driving home from Aunt Lisa's house. The storm is pretty bad tonight." Thunder echoed faintly in the recording. "But don't worry, I'm being careful." Her voice suddenly became quieter. "Danny, I just wanted to tell you something." Daniel leaned closer to the phone. "What?" "If anything ever happens to me, I want you to know how proud I am of you." Daniel's chest tightened. "You work so hard helping people. Your father would be proud too." Daniel covered his mouth. "I know we argue sometimes because you never visit enough." A soft sigh came through. "But I understand. Life gets busy." The rain in the recording grew louder. "Just promise me one thing, Danny." Daniel whispered through tears. "What?" "Don't forget to live your life." Another pause. "Don't spend all your time working. Make memories. Fall in love. Be happy." Daniel couldn't breathe. Then her voice became lighter again. "Anyway, call me tomorrow, okay? I miss you." The recording crackled. "Oh, and Danny?" "Yes, Mom? I love you." The message ended. Daniel sat frozen. The phone slowly lowered from his ear. Tears streamed down his face. That message, it wasn't meant to be the last thing she ever said. It was supposed to be just another normal voicemail, another message he would normally ignore. But now it was everything he had left of her voice. The next few days passed like a blur. Funeral arrangements, family members arriving, condolences from strangers. Daniel barely spoke. At the funeral, he stood silently beside the coffin. His aunt hugged him tightly. "Your mom loved you more than anything." Daniel nodded, unable to speak. Later that night, he returned to his empty apartment. Everything felt different now, quieter, colder. He sat on the couch again, the same place he had been when the voicemail arrived. Daniel opened his phone. He played the voicemail again, and again, and again. Each time it felt like she was still there, still alive somewhere. Weeks passed. Daniel slowly returned to work, but something inside him had changed. He started leaving the hospital earlier. He called his family more often. He visited old friends. Sometimes he even just drove to places his mother used to love. One evening, Daniel sat by the lake outside town. Sunset painted the water orange and purple. He played the voicemail one more time. When her voice said, "I love you," he finally smiled through his tears. "Love you too, Mom." For the first time since the accident, Daniel felt something other than grief. He felt gratitude. Because even though he missed the call, he didn't miss the message, and those simple words would stay with him forever. The end.